welcome back to today's video. So we have a special guest at Thuja Hill today, and that is my dear mother. Welcome to the channel, Mom. So we have Mom on the channel today because she has set many a Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas table. And I thought it would be great to have her on here today in the middle of fall to show us how to set a proper fall table. So you have quite an advantage, certainly over me and probably over most folks, because you have a large amount of dishes, don't you?
It's pretty shameful. I do. I've collected dishes my entire life. My mother collected dishes, my grandmother, on both sides of my family. So dishes, yeah, I have plenty of dishes.
I thought it would be great to have her on today to kind of just show us how to set a nice table. So you just use what you have, or you can always go to the thrift store if you want to find something fun, or there's always antique shops. But really, just use what you have and mix and match, and you can make a beautiful table. But there are some basic elements to doing that. I wanted my mom to show us kind of how to do that today. So would you be willing to set a fall table?
Yes,
okay.
Very much so.
All right, well, we look forward to many fall meals here at Thuja Hill, and it's not that every time we eat, the table will be decorated this way, but it certainly is fun when there's a celebration to be had. Mm-hmm. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started setting a fall table. Okay, so I'm assuming the first place we're going to start is the tablecloth. Is that right?
We could use the placemats, which are lovely, but I think
Okay.
sometimes a tablecloth just really gives a more dressy and finished look. It's like a blank canvas. Here we go. Let's start out with the tablecloth.
Well, we'll get started then laying our tablecloth first.
Have you ever been in a restaurant where the tablecloth is askew and you think, whoever set that table didn't go like this to see how much you have on each end? I feel like this is pretty well centered.
Okay.
And of course there are a few wrinkles, but you just saw us open it so you can be gracious about the wrinkles.
So would you normally iron this if you were doing this
I
on
might
like
just put it in a dryer with a damp towel and let it fluff.
So for today, we're not gonna iron. We're just gonna smooth out the wrinkles with our hands. This is a brand new tablecloth. It's pretty wrinkle free, but those few wrinkles will just pull and it should be fine. Okay.
Perfect.
Lovely, Mom. I'm already loving what I see. We've got the lovely tablecloth. So you decided upon the
woven
placemats.
placemats.
So those went down. I wanted to ask you, what is the proper way to set silverware out? Because I feel like I do it different every time. I'm sure you know all of the etiquette of how to do it. Can you tell us?
Well, back in home ec class in the 60s, there was the way. The way we did it was according to the etiquette book by, you have a book.
Oh,
by
etiquette. Hold on, let me get the book. Emily Post.
Emily Post.
So you had this book in home ec?
Everybody had to study Emily Post, and we.
No way, in home ec you had to study?
We didn't really study it. We studied her formula for a table setting.
Okay.
And proper placement of knives. The blade always pointing in on the knife.
Okay.
On the right side of the plate. Assuming everybody was right-handed. And if you weren't, like 100 years ago, they made you right-handed. If you wanted to, you could have a soup spoon, you could have a bread and butter knife. This is a bare bones set of silverware. You're getting your salad fork, your dinner fork, which is to the left of the plate, your salad fork. People that really love sterling would shudder at me clacking this all together, but this is such old stuff and it's so beautifully, the patina is great. It's been used and used and used.
And it has to be used. Monty Don has a saying, don't be precious about it. I love that because, you know, this stuff is meant to be used
It is
and enjoyed.
absolutely. In fact, it does better with use. It looks better with use. So
Okay.
it goes knife, blade in,
Okay.
spoon, dinner fork, and salad fork.
Okay.
You could have a bread and butter plate with a bread and butter knife. You could have a soup spoon here.
Okay.
You could have a fish fork or anything. This is the simplest way.
This is basic.
This is
Okay.
basic.
Okay.
So we'll just do each place setting just like that with a set of 4.
Okay. Great. Okay, so what are we doing next? Actually, let me ask you, why would you want cups and saucers at the dinner table? I don't know that I've done that. Like, I always serve the cups and saucers after dinner.
It's how I grew up.
Okay.
Emily Post said to do it. And my mom always had coffee served with our meal.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't necessarily drink it, but we would have tea or something. So coffee or tea was served with a meal, along with water or milk or whatever people wanted
Wow.
to drink. So
That's amazing. Talk about hospitality. That's really
Never
cool.
an
There's
empty plate.
options.
Now, because I only have 2 cups and saucers in this lovely little set, we are going to mix our buttercup, spode buttercup
Yes.
cups and saucers with,
The rural scenes.
yes. And we'll do the 2 at the ends,
Okay.
2 matching.
I love that.
And then we'll fill in with the spode.
And they go up directly above the knife and the spoon, right?
Yes.
Is that where they go? Okay. Okay, so we've got our hot beverages covered, and for cold beverages like wine or water, or, you know, whatever people
For
want to drink.
simplicity's sake, we'll just do a water goblet. If
Okay.
you were doing a wine glass, you could put that on the right side of the water goblet, which goes 1 o'clock position on your plate. It makes your table
Makes it
setting
easier
if
to
you
set
have
it,
a way
doesn't
to,
it?
number 1, remember it. So I've seen some table settings, if you go to a really nice restaurant, sometimes the cup and saucer will be way down here.
Okay.
Depends on how many glasses you want. So it's personal preference,
Okay.
looks.
Basically, the goal is to put the wine goblet or the water goblet at 1 o'clock if the
And
plate
then-
is a clock.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful.
Next, I thought it'd be nice to add a bread and butter plate. It's so unnecessary, but so nice to have. If you have a big meal and you have a dinner roll in butter, that it's not marrying everything else on your plate. So you have your separate little plate. And because I only have 4 of these that match Royal Staffordshire, I'm gonna substitute again some buttercup, and we'll put those on the end.
Wow, Mom. Well, this looks amazing.
Thank
I
you.
wish we had some food to put on it. Don't
That's
you?
our next job.
We haven't cooked yet, but this is a beautiful tablescape. I'm so impressed, and I really feel like I learned something. Honestly, I didn't know about how to properly set the silverware, so that was a great help to me. So we've got our plates, our silverware, our goblets, our coffee or teacup, our butter plate, and what are we missing? Is there anything else we need? We need decorations.
We do need a
for the
centerpiece.
center.
And candles are very important on
Always.
the table, as you know. And it's nice not to have a scented candle because it sometimes can be way too much with a dining experience. So a nice taper would be good, and some pewter candlesticks. And a really cool floral or some pumpkins. It's fall. Do we have any little gourds or
Yes,
pumpkins we can
we
add
do.
to the table? That would be lovely.
So maybe we should go outside and see what we can find in the garden. I don't know that there's much besides nasturtium.
You know what my favorite combo was back on the farm when we didn't have things blooming up in the North Country? Was some sedum, some dried hydrangea, and some Russian sage. Put those 3 things together.
That sounds lovely.
Simple.
Okay.
You don't have to buy flowers. You can
Right.
just go scratch around in your weed patch, and honestly, herbs
Yeah.
in a pot, or
That's a good point.
bough from a tree, or
Yeah.
just some green, something fun. Not too high, not too wide, but just enough. And the candles are going to bring the warmth to the table.
Wonderful.
Along with some gourds and pumpkins.
Yeah, okay.
You'll really start feeling the fall thing.
Let's go scrounge out in the garden. I'll have you pick everything. You decide what we're going to put in the centerpiece
Great.
vase, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Well, Mom, this looks amazing. I think
it looks like fall.
I think you've done a fabulous job.
Thank you.
Yeah, very well done. I can't wait to eat on this setting. It looks great. Well, friends, that is it. That is our fall tablescape. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. I hope that you've learned something. I know I have. I really hope that this inspires you to get in your home and make it beautiful for your family. It really does matter, and they do notice, and it can be a blessing to those in your midst. Thank you so much again for coming back to today's video, and thank you so much, Mom, for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And helping us and teaching us. And as usual, I look forward very much to seeing you in another brand new video very soon. Goodbye for now.